everybody. This is Christine Bertram, and I am coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It's Thursday, the last Thursday of the month. It's the 29th, and we have a great ink, paper, scissors lined up for you tonight. It's actually a Fun Folds ink, paper, scissors featuring the lovely garden, Thankful Garden. One's the suite, one's the bundle. And I'm so excited because I have my printed copy that I can use now, and I can easily tell you it's called the Lovely Garden Suite, and it is the Thankful Garden stamp set and dies that we used. Oh man, what a labor of love, you guys. I'm gonna flip this down so you can see what I'm talking about. We got it, yay. And so, hi Gwen Goda, hello Linda Hunt. We got our little plastic sheet on here, the little backing, and then it's bound, which is really cool. So it makes it so it's protected. Kelly was able to knock this out while we were in Disney or at Disney. And then they came back to me all printed and bound and laminated last week. So super cool. It was a team effort to get this done. For those of you who have earned the access to the folder, it's in there. And I just did put in a new version. I found that some of the release dates weren't correct. I don't know if they weren't correct in the last Beekeeper's Guide, but it had the gold foil with a released online exclusives in 2023, which it wasn't. It was never an online exclusive. Gold foil has always been in the annual catalog. And a few other DSPs had the wrong release dates. So if you did download it since Friday, so I uploaded my goal, my promise to myself and to what I've been talking about last week was to have it uploaded by Friday. And I pushed the button at 11:57 that it was in the folder. So I tried. And so just know if you uploaded it between Friday night and this afternoon at about 5:55, 5:50, I don't know, I just uploaded it. You have some release dates that are wrong, and you could always re-download it. Know that those who I have printed copies for, like I helped facilitate and coordinate my printer with people who wanted a printed copy so that you didn't have to pay an arm and a leg at your local printer or your Staples or whoever. All I did was facilitate and help. Some people are getting a printed copy. Just know the printed copies are going to have it incorrect. And it's just like any catalog. There's always going to be things that aren't correct. And for the most part, I would say it's 99% correct. So that's cool. Super excited. So how you get access to that folder is this: if you have supported me since January with taking classes from me, with purchasing Stampin' Up! Product from me or through me, if you've bought any of my tools like the caddies or the anything, like whatever it might be, or if you've gotten PDF tutorials from me. So I do have international customers who purchase PDF tutorials or have access to my Inspiration Hive. And so you would have access. So it was very tedious and a cumbersome process because people's email addresses don't match their names. Lo and behold, they don't. Like mom of six or just the three of us at whatever, you know what I mean? So I have no idea who those people are. And what I had to manually do, and I didn't realize it was me such a big tedious task, I had to create every one of those email addresses as a contact in my Gmail email account. It took about 4 hours to do that, and I don't have 4 hours to just knock it out in one fall swoop. So I started working on it a week and a half ago while I was in the hotel room at Disney. I worked on it for 2 hours there, and then I worked on it Friday night for a couple hours, and I worked on it Thursday night for a couple hours, but I finally got it to the point that I at least can hover over the email address now, and it has the person's name. Before that, I didn't know who people were. So this first time, I couldn't sit there and dinker around with it. So I had sent emails out to those people that I didn't know their email addresses. And if they didn't get back to me by Friday night, I took them out. I couldn't sit there with not knowing who they were. So if we inadvertently took you out of the folder, and you should have access to it because you've supported my business in the last 3 or 4 months, just reach out to me. We can easily add you back to it. And for those that haven't supported me and you've requested access, I will keep it pending until that you've taken classes, or if you've purchased product from me via Stampin' Up! And you selected me as your demonstrator. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and so we wanted to keep it to those who support me in my community. So yeah, it's good though, you guys. It's pretty amazing. I have been using it, if you've been watching me for the last couple weeks, since the middle of May. I've been using it and accessing it from my phone, which I know that in the very beginning, Kelly had missed the hyperlinks on the PDF electronic version of it. And she added those in there. They should be working now. I guess I didn't test them, but they should be working now. But it's super cool because in the front here we have, this is what I'm talking about. If you're on your phone and you click on these hyperlinks, it takes you directly to where that section is in the Beekeeper's Guide. So again, this, like, don't sell it. It's only earned. That's the only way that you can have access to it. And I get people that ask me if they can buy it, and that's the last thing I'm going to do is sell it, because I want to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for a while yet. Like, I don't have any plans of going anywhere, and I don't want to risk that by selling it. So now printing it, on the other hand, is a different story. I'm facilitating and coordinating people with my printer so that they can get a printed copy through my printer. I'm not selling it that by any means. So yay. Okay. You won't believe it. I had another accident. Nancy had an accident, and I just saw Barbara Godby fell again. You guys got to take care of yourselves. We don't need bruises and banged up bodies, you guys. Hello, Sherry Martin. Hello, Mary Lemke. Mary's going to be here really soon, you guys. She's going to be here for in-person Stampin' Fun in the Sun on Wednesday. Hello, Melanie Foy and Sherry Everett. Hi, Linda and Connie and Becky. Hi, Kari. And there's Jean. Hi, Susan Bellamy. Kari had foggy and raining in Colorado, and the Air Force graduates didn't get to see the Thunderbirds perform. Oh, that's sad. I bet that's something that they look forward to. We had a beautiful day. It's sunny. I don't know if you guys can see. It's bright in here, so it's a little sunnier than it normally has been. We have had some really pretty awesome weather today. Hi, Faye. Hi, Randy. And we have Hope. Hello. Hi, Angelique. So I'm going to put this out there because I saw Angelique's name here pop up. Angelique is helping me design the next game night cards. You guys might recall that we strategized and planned together the Ocean Friends Fun Folds, over the top, crazy, awesome cards for the last game night. And you guys, I estimated in my head that we were only going to do 48. And people kept signing up, and they just everybody went ham over Angelique's Fun Folds. So we kind of brainstormed what we wanted to do, worked together, collaborated on the front end, and then came together on the back end to go over everything. And we ended up with 72. So Angelique said she'd be more than happy to help me again with the next game night. And we need to talk, you guys. I had it in my head, I had it on my radar that we should feature the turtles, the Turtley Cute Suite, because we did the Ocean Friends, which was the kind of, to me, the wild ocean life, fun, kiddish cards to me, but yet appeal to people who love the colors or adults who love ocean life, right? So we did Ocean Friends. Last year, I did the Zany Zoo, which was, again, the kiddish set to me. Happy Hibiscus was definitely not kiddish to me, or the fun animal crittery, sea urchiny stuff. But I think there was another one that was like that. It was where we featured everything in the regular course of action, but we didn't feature that. So we thought, oh, let's feature it for game night. So my feedback I've been getting from my in-person peeps is not necessarily the best of reviews with the turtles. Just tell me, just to let you know, I get it. Everybody likes different things. But Angelique and I talked yesterday, I think Tuesday. We talked on Tuesday. And we kind of were like, well, do we try and challenge ourselves to make cute, awesome turtle cards for everybody and feature it? Or do we pick something else? And I guess we were kind of wondering the same thing. Diane and I were also wondering the same with beautiful motifs. We were, do people want that? And you guys went crazy. About 10 or 12 people responded, yes, do beautiful motifs. And so we built beautiful motifs in for August ink, paper, scissors. But we're on the fence now, and we're trying to figure out, and I think we kind of made the collective decision not to use Turtley, but I'm curious. And Angelique, I'm sure she's curious too. What do you guys generally feel about the turtles? So here's your opportunity. You can say you're not a big fan. You can say, I love them, and Angelique's watching. She's here. I think she's watching. I mean, she said hello, so I'm thinking she's watching comments. And I think, Angelique, everybody's comments or people who reply will give us a general indication of, yup, we made the right decision. Let's not do the turtles. And if people say, no, 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 I love them, I love them, I love them, I love them, then we might be like, okay, well, maybe we will go back and rethink how we could work with the turtles, okay? So, but I was trying to gauge my in-person community, and I'm curious if my online community is running the same course. So your turn to let us know how you feel about the turtles. All right. So hello, Doris Munson. Hello, Julie Black and Mary Carls. Hi, Vanessa Ritter. And there's Sherry Stewart. Yay. Hi, Jeannie Curtis. And hi, Linda Hunt. Hi, Ann Bellinger. And there's Cindy Runtree. Yay. I said hi to Nancy already. And Gwen Goda. Hi, Sandy Coy Emery. Sherry said the Beekeeper's Guide is awesome. You guys, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback. That is probably the best reference tool demonstrators have had in a long time. So we're very happy. Bigger Tigger, yes. Oh, you guys, I got to show you what I did with Bigger Tigger. Hi, Marcia Coolbert. Hi, Sherry Everett. Oh, yes, you can actually talk to me on the phone. And so you're 2 hours behind me, Sherry. So if you're listening to me, do not hesitate to call me. Like, give me 5 to 10 minutes after my live ends and phone me. If for any reason I can't answer, I won't, but I'll call you back tomorrow morning. And I promise I won't call at 8 a.m. when it's 6 a.m. your time. So we'll connect tomorrow, though. I have an appointment in the morning, and I have to drive 45 minutes to get to it. We could always chat while I'm driving. All right. Oh, yes. Thank you, Nancy Mole. And I had Janice Ormiston help with proofreading the guide. And you guys, I had 6 people that looked at the guide, and even with 6 people looking at it, there were still things that got missed. But we found quite a few things from the people looking at it, which was awesome. Hi, Yvette Smith. Hello, Jean Terwilliger and Anique. And Margene Eskelson. Yay. So you guys, Kelly did class this morning, and I looked for the paper pumpkin box. I could not find it anywhere. I was going to show you what she did for her alternative card. Completely cannot find it, so can't really show it off. But I have some left. So if you missed out on the May paper pumpkin, I know I have some left. I don't know how many I have left. Right at the moment, there's 8 here. Plus I have 2 from April that have the complete full set. So in case you are looking for any of that, just let me know. I have been very engrossed and consumed in the prep work for both Paper Palooza and the Stampin' Fun in the Sun that I have not really sat down in my emails or text messages regarding class signups and people asking questions about things coming up since I got back from Disney. And I've been back now for about a week and a half, you guys. And so I do appreciate the patience. You guys are really just hanging out and just waiting for me to get to the email. Now that we're done kidding Paper Palooza. We are almost 100% prepped for Stampin' Fun in the Sun, and all of June class cards are designed. Okay, so I was up till 2:45 this morning, basically working with Tyler. Tyler fixed my big industrial strength paper cutter. I had been begging him for the last 2 weeks to take. It took him 2 hours, and he doesn't have 2 hours either. But he finished work at 11 last night. I don't know, maybe he finished work earlier and went home to take care of some stuff and bills and all that kind of stuff. And then he came over, and it was 11 by the time he got here. And I said, can you look at the paper trimmer, please? And he spent 2 hours. The blade needed to get changed. It was tapering my paper by about 1/8 of an inch. So about 2 weeks ago, we stopped using it. And the gals here, Annette primarily, has been cutting paper with the guillotine, 1 sheet at a time. Bless her soul. So it was like cutting with like butter, I guess you could say. Like I hardly had to use any force. Poor Chris and I, when we were cutting on it, we had to put all of our strength in. And so that just, it says how dull the blade was. And we just need to make sure we don't wait probably too long to do that again. But so we've been engrossed with a lot of extra that non-efficient work, doing that kind of prep work. And now that I've got June designed, we have the showcase set for tomorrow, you guys. I got it set for 2 o'clock. The showcase is set, and I'll show all the different things that are coming up in June. Now I'm going to sit down and focus on correspondence and communication and making sure I get through all of that by Monday, right? I can't do it all in one sitting, but I know that I need to sit for about 6 to 10 hours to go through all of it. And I need to be at it, focused with the phone off, not getting more messages. And so that's coming, you guys. So just know that, and Carissa as well has been consumed with her work. And she's also been working on swap cards, and she's been working on bookkeeping stuff. And she knows that she has some emails that came into CBC and Roll in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and she knew how busy I was, so she was trying not to add more to my plate. So her goal is to get through those emails by Saturday morning so that I can send those off to you over the weekend and get all of our stuff straightened out, situated, kind of back on track before we roll into the Stampin' Fun on the Sun. So that's kind of where we're at on getting back to people. Hi, Joy. Hello, Anna Carter. And there's Cheryl. Got a couple more people that popped in here too. Oh, let's see what you guys are saying about the turtles. Okay, no turtles. No thanks on the turtles. I'm okay with turtles. Susan loves the turtles. Okay. Ann says no turtles. Not a fan of turtles. At first, I was not a fan, but now I love the turtles. I think the turtles are scary looking. They're next. Okay, so Jean, you said what everybody said in person. The girls here, anybody that was here, they don't like the wrinkly necks. They just can't get past seeing the wrinkly necks. And I think every turtle in there has a wrinkly neck. Karen said that they're not for her. No turtles. Not a big fan. Mary Carl said do the turtle. Okay, turtles are cute, but these are not turtly cute. Oh, Sherry Stewart. Okay, that's what most of the people here think. And Frances made it. Yay, Frances. And Frances is going to be here for her birthday next week. I love it. Not a big fan. And Joy said she needs this. Yes, you guys continue to send your prayers and love and happy thoughts and well wishes to Joy and her husband. They're going through a very trying time as well. They could use all the uplifting encouragement you can send them. And Faye likes the turtles much better. I like the last turtles much better. Not planning to order the current turtle. So here's our deal with the turtles. If we did the turtles, we would make it so you did not have to buy the stamps. You would get your turtles from the designer series paper, and you would make the cards not having to have the turtle stamps. That's how we would do that. The only product in the turtley that you like is the embellishments. Okay, so I like the embellishments. I don't mind the ribbon. The designer paper, I like one side of it. So, oh yeah. So, hello, Carolyn Ketchmark. Don't forget the thumbs up. Hello, Maria Gilbertson. And who else just joined us? It might be in the, yeah, I looked upstairs in the hive, the mini hive upstairs, and I just didn't see it. Silly Safari would be fun for game night. Okay. And you better buy a potty chair, right? Gwen loves the turtles, but the DSP is creepy. Okay. Oh, Sherry Everett said thank you for the cards of encouragement. Aw, I'm so happy. And I'm sure you could still continue to use encouragement as well, Sherry. And Sandy likes the turtles. Okay. Oh, thanks, Carolyn, for waiting. So you guys, I feel as though, and Angelique, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you were keeping track. I think that there was more people not for the turtles than there were for the turtles. So we'll see what we end up doing with the turtles, you guys. I definitely think we'll take everybody's thoughts and words into consideration, and we'll go from there. Our thought was there is new product being launched in the online exclusive section of the store for us as demonstrators on Tuesday, and we can pre-order them. And we thought if there was something that was, oh my gosh, over the top amazing, we thought about using that. And the only problem with that would be is that I can't order the DSP until July 1st. And I would not be able to ship anybody's game nights out generally ahead of time. They would ship on the July shipping date, which 90% of people are okay with that usually. So, all right, as long as I have my book in front of me, we're going to do roll call before I forget and somebody has to remind me. We made 80 sets of this class. We said in May that we cut back on our kits because we were ending up with extra ones left. And that's not a bad thing, but I also don't need lots of card kits sitting around here just collecting dust, right? You know, I keep them until eventually maybe somebody says, oh, I like that one, right? But it got to be the point where I didn't need 10 or 15 or 5 left, right? So we cut back. Normally we had been doing 96 for ink, paper, scissors, and we cut 16 out. So we made 80. And Diane had 12 people in person, you guys. It was crazy. She had a full house with fun folds and people cutting their own designer paper. Oh, if you know Diane, you'll have to ask her how it went or tell her like she's a saint for for being the teacher last night. So I had 68 people. Now, I do have 2 people on my wait list. I had people reach out to me after we sold out, and I said to them that I'll add your name to my list, and if I get between 4 to 8 people who are interested in signing up for this class, we could kit more. We would build kitting more into the schedule for this one. Ink, paper, scissors is an easier one to kit. because we don't have to necessarily cut the designer paper. We don't have to cut the ribbon. We don't have to cut the gems. They're a little easier to kit. And I have 2. So if I do have more people who are interested in taking this class because you missed out on it, and they're going to be great. We'll get to them in a moment. But if you did miss out, you can send an email. Probably just send it directly to me at Christine@cardsbycrispy.com and just say in like the subject, just put Lovely Garden IPS waitlist or something. And just all you have to do is put that in the email. Just say, please add me to your waitlist. And what I'll do is I'll add you to my book. And then if I do end up having between 4 and 8 people that are interested, that's when we'll factor in to build it. Like, let's say you're going to get June shipment from me, then we'll figure out that we'll make sure we have it ready and staged to go in the June shipment. That's probably like what I'm thinking we're going to do. So again, just send me a quick note. You don't have to put anything else in the email. Just say, put me on the wait list for the Lovely Garden IPS, and then I'll start to be able to gauge it. And if for some reason I don't get anybody that wants to do it, I'll just tell the couple people that are on the wait list that I'm not going to be having more card kits. So I'm only getting the V1 of the Beekeeper's Guide when you click the link in the email. So there isn't a link for the Beekeeper's Guide in the email, Sandy. The link is for a folder. So the folder is what I gave access to people, or I should say how did I want to say that? The folder is what I gave access to people for. That sounded backwards. It was like Yoda to me. I gave people access to a folder, is what I wanted to say, not to a file. So you shouldn't have a link that has the file. It should be to a folder. I didn't want to have to go through the rigmarole every time of having people request access to a file. So I created a folder that you have access to get into. And there are different PDFs in there. One is for the sale-a-bration. I left that in there. One is for sale-a-bration. And the other one is, let's see if I deleted the wrong one. I might have deleted the wrong one because I went through and beekeeper shopping. So Sandy, if that is the case, that means I deleted the wrong one. I meant to delete. Yeah, you are correct. It says version 1. So I can't do anything. You're right. Thank you for letting me know. I must have deleted version 2, or it's not done uploading. And I brought my computer down here and it was in the middle of uploading because I uploaded it about 2 minutes before I left to come down here, and it probably got hosed up with the internet switching from my house internet to the out here. So, all right, so that's a good call. So after the live is over, you guys, tonight, I'll go and check where version 2 is and make sure it gets in there. I think I was gonna leave version 1, hang on, something fell on the floor. I'm gonna leave version 1 out there so that if people still wanna see it and access it, they can. So, but good call, Sandy. If you don't mind, Sandy, you can send me a text message that says, please update version 2 into the drive. That would help. So Tanya Jackson, you missed it. IPS have gone out. So Tanya Jackson, you are on my list. You signed up for it and you're marked on my list here. I don't know if yours got mailed. I have this sneaking suspicion that it's sitting on my table over there and I don't know why. Before I left for Disney, I don't know if it got left there and that we didn't ship it out, but I just looked on the table in the middle area where I don't look very often, and I believe I saw it there. And so it's very possible, Tanya, that I have your IPS here. I feel like I just saw it, okay? You're on my book and you've paid for it. So if we're going to go through roll call. Hi, Polly Libby. All right, we're going to do roll call. If your name's on the list, that means that you would have received the PDF. I emailed it out this afternoon at 3 o'clock. And most of the kits have shipped. Now, I know there's a few that are here yet, including, I believe, like Lila Erickson and Becky Gandolfo. If you're on my list, you're still here because we were waiting. If people were waiting for product shares, I held off on mailing their May classes until the product shares were ready because we consolidated shipping. So we've got some investigating to do. All right. So first on our list is Mary Jo Stoll. And then we have Connie Moore, Julie Biersbach, Trisha Fagley, Debbie Gast, Frances Rodriguez, Sandy Coy Emery, Karen Stagg, Donna Grushke, Faye Godby, Linda Scott, Kathy Dolly Nagari, Becky Rohr, Brenda Cottrell, Sherry Everett, hello Mary Ellen Ryan, just saying hello to you. I saw your name pop up. So Jean Shute said, yeah, so Jean, you should have access to the folder and then you should be able to access it when I put version 2 in it, okay? All right, so next on our class list, we have Susie Fenlater, Feline Mays, Rosie Prody, Angelique McClendon, Tanya Jackson, Sherry Stewart, Lisa Hedges, Leslie McMinn, Kathy Showalter, Kelly Gibson, and Kathy Showalter. I'm pretty sure yours is still sitting underneath my counter in the mudroom ready for porch pickup. Okay, Kathy Showalter, Kelly Gibson, Laura Sullivan, Karen Mikowski, Karen Cotton, Karen Woods, Barbara Gobby, Karen Wetstein. You guys, I had all these Karens, my amazing Karens, right? Like they all signed up back to back. Pat Settle, Bridget Rowe, Michelle Foran, Nedra Dover, Mary Lemke, Susan Bellamy, and then Pat Sheet Bischoff, Julie Bontranger, Janice Ormiston, Joanne Naples, Jennifer Jones, Jeannie Parker, Cheryl Thomas, Becky Gandolfo. And again, now Becky, if you're watching, yours is here in a box waiting for the product shares to get wrapped up, and they'll go out on Monday. Maria Gilbertson, Wendy Kruger, Sarah Merchant, Carmen Melendez, Stacy Tan. This one's paper is awesome. Looks like Christian. I do, Sherry Stewart. Thank you for pointing that out. Stacy Tan. And Stacy, this might be the first time I'm saying your name out loud for a class roll, class list. I love it. Linda Hunt, Mary Carls, Carrie White, Lila Erickson, Debbie Stone, Barbara Rudolph, Hope Toy, Gwen Petrashek, Cindy Nicolosi, Sue Esworthy, Sherry Martin, Patty Wright, Margene Eskelson, Lori Kaiser, Vicky Rodriguez. Hello, Vicky, by the way. I saw that you joined us as we were doing roll call. Sarah Mitchell and Lynn Beasley. And then I have 2 on the waiting list. So thank you to everybody who registered and paid for this class. We truly appreciate your support. It keeps us hopping and busy in the hive. I did roll call too, because if I missed saying your name and you're 100% certain you paid for this class, or registered for it and maybe didn't pay for it, and we just haven't connected yet, you got to let me know, because it will help me decide if we're going to make more from the wait list or not. So it happens, you guys. And I'll tell you, it also happens that people think they sign up for class and then they're mistaken and it's a different class they sign up for. And so they'll tell me on a live that I didn't say their name, but then we'll catch later that I wasn't supposed to say their name. So it goes both ways, or every which way, you guys. So I did want to share with you, because the cutter got fixed this morning, I was able to get cutting on all those people who have product shares. And it's so amazing that this paper cuts so nice, and I can't wait to show you. So in case you're still looking to potentially get in on a paper share, a ribbon share, or an embellishment share, they are still available. If anybody would still like to get on my list to reserve one with me. The paper share could also be converted into what we're calling the paper palooza, where you get 21 cards. You guys, there are 2,100 card kits sitting on the table right over here. We finished the last 400 of them today, and we kitted the cards for 96, and I have 76 or 77 people signed up for it. So we kitted about 20 extra sets of the cards. So the next 19 to 20 people who would like to do a paper share, but then bump it up to be the paper palooza, you could still get registered for it. And with the paper palooza, you could also do an add-on of the ribbon and the gems if you'd like to. Your computer is buffering. All right, Anik, we'll see you later. So sorry to hear that. But I want to show you guys what the ribbon share looks like. Jill Butzine and my mom made this happen. My mom cuts all the ribbon, and then Jill wraps it around her hands, and she wraps these little pieces of paper and keeps them all organized and together. So you get 2 yards of the ribbons, except for these guys here, you only get 1 yard. Because basically the rolls of ribbon get divided by 5. And I honestly think that I think that these have 2 yards each. No, I built it in that it's a yard each. I think I did a yard each for those. These guys, I think, are a yard over here, because you only get 5 yards in one of these rolls. So you get like a yard, and then a yard, and then the rest of them are 2 yards. And I think that this is $29 plus shipping, and then, yeah, so pretty cool on that. So we did awesome on that. And then the electric die cutter, your manual one's aggravating your fibromyalgia. Yeah, I was considering, hi, Donna's here too. Yeah, I considered getting an electronic cutter. So you guys, are you ready for this? Now this is Judy Immel. She put these together for everybody. This is the embellishment share. It is a sampling of all the new embellishments that launched since March phenomenal. And it's pretty awesome how she has this all organized. It really gives you a sampling of all the different colors, all the different textures you have of these embellishments. So you get a really good sampling. We put a little piece of paper in the middle of each one so that they don't have any problems mingling when they get, before they get to your door, okay? So we have a little pink paper in there. So I think the embellishment chair was $26 plus shipping. And again, we have plenty of those. If anybody wants to sign up, we can coordinate that. And then the paper, which is the hottest off the press. And this is your brick, okay? I am beyond ecstatic how this paper trimmer is back. I said to Kelly on the live, it's back in the New York room. It's back. Yeah. So can you tell I'm excited, you guys? Like, I'm so excited how like straight on it was. It was, like I mentioned, it was starting to taper. So I have disclaimers for the month of May, the May kits. If your paper is a hair big or a hair small, it's because of my paper trimmer, and back on track for June. So just know that you want to do a lot of dry fitting for your cards, because it will definitely be important for dry fitting to make sure if you need to trim anything on the matte side or on the DSP side. But this is the paper here. So it has there are 22 different sheets of designer paper, 22 featured packs of paper, and you get one of each sheet, basically. And then I have 2 of the treat boxes in here to do the suitcases, which is cool. And so we have beautiful motifs, and then you have the boho vibes, and then you have the in colors and the in colors, and then the brights, regals, neutrals, subtles. So you get one of each of those colors. The impressions of bloom, or bloom impressions, the florals in bloom. Don't ask me why their names are so similar, but they are. Weekend Adventures, or Weekend at Bernie's, and then Kintsugi, or we're calling it the Japan DSP. This is the Sip Sip Celebratory Sips, and what is right here? It seems like it's really thick. Okay, Celebratory Sips, the Woven Textures on the Go, Lovely Garden, which we're featuring tonight, Botanical Prints or Textures, the Turtles. Yep, the turtles are here. The Meant to Be, which actually launched in January, but we never featured it in the product share because we couldn't pre-order it. And the same with the Everyday Happiness, which there was an Everyday Happiness in here too. It must be hiding. There's there's only 3 sheets from Everyday Happiness, and they're in there somewhere. Irresistible Designs, and then the foil. So you get that. So that Everyday Happiness, he's just hanging out somewhere, like, right? Gosh, I gotta look through this a little bit closer. There should be just 3 sheets of Everyday Happiness. And we just looked at one that had it. But of course, you guys know me. I gotta answer my questions right off the bat. There's all those. I'll have to look through this one, because if there's one that doesn't have it, then, and we counted the packs of paper. So there's those Weekend Adventures or Weekend at Bernie's. Okay, well, I'm going to make a note on this one and see what is going on, because there it is. I knew it was here. Okay, the weekend. Okay, so then this is the Everyday Happiness. There's only 3 sheets from that one, but that was one from January that launched, and we made sure to include it. So, okay. All right, so that is your paper brick. That is the paper DSP sampler, or I should say DSP share. And then it can be turned into the Palooza, and then you'll have 21 card kits to do with it. If you do the Palooza, you'll get attendance gifts, you'll get pillow gifts, and then I feel like there's one other thing, but yes, anyways, that's that. And then the other thing too, I'm down to about 15 of the DSP samplers, and tonight we're going to be featuring Lovely Garden, which is right here. And I think we tried to use at least each sheet once throughout. And I had it in my head I was going to pre-cut my flowers out, you guys, and I didn't do that. So we're going to be cutting a few flowers. But that is what we're featuring tonight, is a Lovely Garden. And if anybody wants to add one of these DSP samplers to their Stampin' Fun in the Sun box, to their Palooza box, to coming and picking up in person, definitely doable. I have about 15 left. Okay, so in case you guys didn't know what these shares were all about, now you know. So we have to put it together. All right, you have nice having in one spot. All right, the other thing too, I'm going to be working on between, I feel like I'm so low. The other thing I'm going to work on too is I'm going to send out an email. I have half of it staged, and it'll have in there everything that I kind of talked about tonight with links to everything. So if you guys don't get emails from me or they're not coming through properly, you should double check. You can go to cardsbycrispy.com and sign up for to get emails from me. And if you were already signed up and you're not getting emails, you need to maybe reach out to me and see if I have a tag. Because what happens after you subscribe is I add a tag to your email address, which indicates that you get emails from me. Because I send emails out to people by groups. And so I have a general email. And if you're not getting them, it would be great because it has a lot of information that is easy for you guys to find what it is that I'm talking about. So, okay. That's a lot in a nutshell. Are you guys ready to stamp? I'm ready to stamp. So, so we have, yeah, that was impressive. Sandy, what kind of, oh yeah, ask Sandy what kind of cutter she got. That would be good to know. Hello, Miss Patty Little from Tucson, Arizona. All right, so we have cards, you guys. We have a fun folds class tonight. When I try, so Joy Moody, I approved yours. I'm pretty sure I approved, you guys. If you don't have access to the Beekeeper's Guide, you need to request access. And it comes into my Gmail account. And Joy Moody, I could have sworn I approved yours earlier in the week. I see there were a couple up there. And I know I got Jamie's, but I have to, what I do is I have to go back and see. There's a couple people here that, like Danette, I think that's Danette. I have to go back to see if you earned it. If you're a customer, it's $100 since January. And if you're a fellow demonstrator, we did 50. And if you're on my team, there is no minimum requirement. All right, don't forget the thumbs up. Thanks, Sherry. So Joy, I could have sworn that I approved yours though over the weekend. I think I saw it on Monday or Sunday or something. So we're going to do this awesome. So again, you guys, these are all fun folds, right? So this opens like this, super cool. And then we have this one. So Yvette Lopez helped me out with this, and she sent me these instructions, and she said it was inspired by Tammy White and Rachel Tessman, and then she made a card. And we cased the card and made this one right here, which is so cool. So we're gonna make that one with you tonight. I'm gonna maybe save that one for last and get my brain warmed up to it. And Sherry says she's just getting started in the kit. All right, Joy. So Joy, I could have sworn I approved it, but if for some reason, you can always request it again, and then maybe I'll see it come through my phone again. We're gonna do this guy, which is a gatefold, an easy gatefold. And then we've got this one. I always love this kind of a card where it goes like that. And you guys, I glued mine wrong. Can you see those lines back here? Totally glued it on the wrong side, and I had to use my adhesive eraser so it's not sticky, but the adhesive still left oily residue. Okay, so we all do that. All right, so in your kit, you guys, you'll have a roll of the Fresh Freesia faux velvet ribbon, which I'm pretty sure I haven't opened. Hi, hunky buddy. What's up, big boy? Oh, you want to come say hello to everybody? You can do it. Put your back into it. There you go. Hi, handsome kitten. Hi, little guy. You gonna say hi? No, you've been. Ooh, look at you, so cute. Oh, you slept all day. You guys also have some Starburst sequins. I'm gonna flip your tail everywhere, huh? Starburst sequins. That'll be in your kit, and then you'll have some paper. So, big kudos to Karen Wetstein. She helped us cut these. She cut them so that you wouldn't lose them. If we would have cut these at 6x6, you would have lost a lot of flowers. So what we decided to do is we mapped out how she should cut them, and she cut them apart for you guys so that you wouldn't lose all the birthday boy. Hunky, when is Hunky's birthday? His birthday was April 5th, I think. So not his birthday at the moment. But you gotta make a decision, buddy, what you're gonna do. So we did get some feedback from people that they said that sometimes they get like corners that are a little mushed in on their paper, and that'll happen when we cut it like this. But what we started to do was we started to leave with May, we started to leave the white cardboard backer in here just for some extra support. So I'm casing the card you sent me. Oh, good, Nancy. I like it. Good, good. Oh, hello, Laura Sullivan. And there's Yvette Lopez. How excited. I just logged in as you were showing my card. Yay. Yep, we definitely cased your card. So what we're going to do is work on cutting our paper first. And there's going to be this flower pattern paper. You're not going to use this green side from what I remember. We're only going to be using the flowers. So we'll cut those apart in a bit. And Karen, I had to trim down I cut a flower apart and put in your bag. Oh, I cut a flower apart. So Diane Bogenhagen did this note. So she cut one of the flowers off so that she was really worried it was sticking up too far. So that was a note. So you guys, she did that on some of your kits. So in case you got a note from Diane, that's what she did. Buddy, where are you going to go, handsome kitten? You want to go over there? All right, let me move the boxes so you can get in there. All right, so we're going to grab our trimmer out. I have a bunch of boxes next to me, you guys, so I just got to share this really quick. In case you didn't sign up for Stampin' Fun in the Sun, I brought these cards over here. We have 6 or 7 spots left for the event. That's happening next week. So we're getting down to the wire on the class signups. There's not many spots left. And it makes these 4 cards in this box. And the business size cards, there's mini cards. And then it's also the scrapbooking card, which is great to show you because it features this paper from Lovely Garden, right? So this is what is on the docket for us to work on next week. And so we've got 6, potentially 7 spots. I just, once I get through my email, I'll know better where I'm at. But I just wanted to share that with you guys in case there's any interest there. You could definitely reach out to me and let me know. And there we go. Good. Now I don't have to worry about them keeping falling. We're going to start with this one right here. And this one's an easy one. Hello, Nedra Dover. And you guys, the tutorial went out this afternoon. So you can find measurements in there. Jolene knocked it out of the ballpark with her tutorial. She really wrote a really good, awesome tutorial for you guys with lots of diagrams and all the good measurements and notes. And this is my favorite blue paper here. I know, Vicki, I'm so excited for you to be here. Did you miss the June showcase, Laura? No, you didn't. It's tomorrow. So this one is 3 13/16 by 3 13/16. And so you could save this for your envelope. I might just do that because I love that pattern. I think that's my favorite pattern in this whole pack of designer paper. Your son has a Mancoon and they look so similar. Oh, yes. Yeah, Bigger Tigger. So if Hunky was as big as Bigger Tigger, that's exactly what he'd look like. So it's a 3 13/16 by 3 13. Oh, Jean Shoot wants the sun. Okay, Jean. Well, I'll definitely make sure you're on the list to get a Stampin' Fun on the Sun. I know, Kelly. I can't believe it's next week as well. So there's that one. And this is going to be a scrap pile, right? So Jean has one of the 7. So I think if I had to think about it, we're probably down to 4 left. All right. So this one is the purple that goes here. And that's also 3 13/16 by 3 13/16. Now you have a decision to make. Which pattern do you want for your envelope? You could pick either. I still am going to pick that one. All right, so that's it for designer paper on this card. So let's put these 2 pieces. Yeah, and that's exactly it, you guys. I think that there might be that many left, and what we'll do is we make sure that we will give the spots to whoever goes and messages us first is how it's going to work. So we have here DSP is 5 1/8 by 1 3/4. Okay, so 5 1/8. Does that seem right? Yeah, that's 5 1/8. Okay, we're gonna do 5 1/8. 5 1/8 by 1 3/4. So this is how I like to do that. I like to cut off the 1 3/4 and 1 3/4 first. So in my head, what I do is 1 3/4 and 1 3/4 is 3 1/2. Right? So this is how much I need. This is extra now, which can be used for the envelope. But this is 2 panels. Now I like to cut it at the 5 1/8. Right? So that gives me what I need for the front, but I need to just now cut it in half at 1 3/4. And that's the bottom piece. And now this will be the top piece. And I like to remember things in order, so I'm going to put my top piece on the top. Okay? And I'm going to try to keep it like this with the card, so I remember it goes like this. Okay, and this also uses a lot of flowers. Okay, but I'm not going to even focus on any of the flowers at the moment. We're going to just sit tight on the flowers for the moment, because I think we'll do them last. So this could be for my envelope, or you have this piece left. And I think this is more exciting for your envelope than this one. And it matches the freesia that's going on with this card. So I'm going to put this in here too. Then the tails, their tails go on forever, and their ears have huge Teflon. And yes, I know, I love the cats that are coon cats. They're so cute. All right, so then we have some black stripes. All right, so let's grab this piece. We need a piece for this, here, and that's it. So there's 3 pieces of designer paper for this next one that are all the same. The stripes are going horizontal. The width on it is 3 13/16 for these 2, as well as the one that's on the inside. So what I'm going to do is cut it at 3 13/16, because that's the width we need, right? So this top one is 3 and, let's see what it is. I don't want to cut it wrong. I don't always trust. It is 3 5/16. So I'm going to cut that first. 3 5/16. Right, so that's this piece here. The next one is 1 5/16. So we'll go to the 1 5/16. And that's what goes here. Okay, and then on the inside, you have this piece that's left here, which isn't enough, right? So you put that off to the side, and you have a decision to make. I think what I'm going to do is save this for my envelope flap versus putting it here and have my stripes going a different way. If you don't mind your stripes going this way on the inside and then this way, you could use this here. But I think this would look really cool on my envelope flap. So I'm going to go into my pile here, and I'm going to utilize another piece here. And this one is 3 13/16 by 2 9/16, but who likes 9/16? I don't. So I'm going to wedge it out though. I'm not going to cut down and cut it off. So I'm going to go 3 13/16, and it's about a hair over 2.5. So I'm going to come over to about 2.5, and then I'm going to go this way and do 2 9/16, or you could do 2 5/8, whatever you want. But all I'm going to do is wedge that out of here, and that's the piece. Oh, that's way too much even too. You could have gotten by with, like, oh, there's a middle thing here. So you could have gotten by with 2 1/4. That would have worked, but this is what I got, right? So this is the inside piece. This is left over, right? So we're going to put that on the scrap pile. So these are what we got for scrap so far. And then our envelope. So we're just going to set this right here. And now we have this one. That piece is this one right here. That's the back. And what's super cool, so this is Yvette Lopez's card that we cased. Yvette, I wish I had, I don't know if I have it here. I don't know if I brought it down to show off. Sometimes I keep them right here. Well, this is the card we cased. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is the card we cased. This is Sandy Carlson. We cased this with this card, right? We cased, this was from, you guys, Kathy Jackson from Iola, Wisconsin sent me this beautiful card. I showed this off one day, and then I think we were designing the next day, and it was so pretty. So this is the card we cased for that last one we cut for. Yvette. Oh, look at this, Yvette Lopez. Oh, I found it. So exciting. So this is the card that Yvette made for us. And she gave me this in Raleigh. And she made it just for me. And we cased her card. It was my birthday card. And so I showed this off about a month and a half. I don't know, whatever. Like, I showed off some cards, and then we were designing for ink, paper, scissors. So we cased those layouts, you guys. That's what it's about. You get inspiration wherever you can find it. And we were in the middle of designing for ink, paper, scissors. So we cased these 3 cards and came up with the other 3 styles. I don't know if we cased, what else we cased. Laura Sullivan, I don't know if you're watching, but we cased your card, this one. We cased this for the Bloom Impressions Stamp-A-Stack, we did a pocket card because we had gotten your card in the mail. And I think that might be it for right now. So yay, I had them right next to me. I sometimes am on my A game with that. All right, so this one, we have a 5 1/4 by 4 DSP, and then we've got C diagram. Because really what we have to do is we have to cut the DSP, and we also have to do a little work. You guys, we did not prep your score lines on any of your kits. I could not have done that to my helpers. Are the Maine Coons really as giant as they appear in pictures? I think that they are, Kelly. Are Kelly. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. So let's look at this. You have some homework to figure out how you want your paper, because you're going to be cutting out this section, and you can figure out what is the best use of the layout. Oh, I need to water my flowers. You guys, I got all my flowers watered on Saturday. That was a good thing. But now I haven't watered them for 2 days, so I need to water them. It just popped in my head. So this is going to go here, because I'm going to see this hydrangea over here, and then I'm going to get that pink flower. So I'm going to go for this section right here, I think. I think that would be the best bang for my buck, because I get more black there. So I'm going to, this is what you got to figure out. I'm going to cut this section out. So knowing that it's a 5 1/4 by 4, I want 4 inches this way. I'm going to flip it like this, cut my 4 inches off. Now, this could be my envelope flap. It very could be, very well could be. Then we need 5 1/4. And I'm thinking I'm going to trim a little here and a little there, because I can. So we're going to do a little bit. Ooh, I don't want to cut off that hot pink though. Let's go like right there. So I just did a little smidge. And then on this side, I'm going to make it the 5 1/4. So this could be used on the inside. That's not so bad to use for the inside. All right. So now that we have this done, we need to basically find the center point here and cut this into these triangles here, and they'll get glued down, and then this gets flipped over and gets put up here. That's what's happening. Okay, so the magical number is 2 5/8 with a non-green pen. I have 2 green pencils here. One actually, oh, and they're both green, aren't they? They are. They are. I didn't realize that. Okay, I thought one was regular lead, but oh, the orangey is regular lead. Let's do regular. We found that the colored lead does not erase very nicely. So you want to do 2 5/8. So again, this is my top and this is my bottom. So at 2 5/8, which is the center of 5 1/4, you're gonna put a little pencil mark there, right? And what happens is you're gonna cut from that pencil mark. So I'm gonna put it into my tracker here, and I'm going to put and pivot off of that to there. And so we're going to cut that off. So that becomes this piece. And now we have to twisty-turny. We're going to go from the corner pivot to the bottom. And I don't ever push down from the corner. I always go from like a more of a less point, I guess. And so that's going to be here. And now this piece, you flip it over, and that's what's going to go right there. All right, so that's set, and this is for our inside. So now let's just peruse our flower assortment. We have another sheet of designer paper that had all these beautiful flowers on it, and what we can do is ration them out so that they get used properly, or how you want, you guys. So this flower right there, when you have your 2 sheets, 2 scoops, basically this is a half a sheet. It goes something like, oh my goodness, like this. I thought maybe, no, that can't be. I know that goes here. Oh, there it is. I needed that piece of there to get my puzzle together. All right, so basically Karen, she cut down and then did a little loop-de-loop, I guess, like that. So, all right, but seeing this is half. Ultimately, we have this darker pink one here on that one. This guy over here uses one of the big purplicious hydrangea balls here. So let's, oh man, I don't have any scissors here. One moment, please. Let me go get my scissors. Okay, we had like 5 people in here and everybody seemed to be wanting a scissors, and so they got stolen from over here. So I want to grab this purple one. I wish I had a Vanna white here right now. So that goes with this one. And then I'm going to grab this one out. I'm pretty sure everybody should have this darker pink one, but this lighter pink one would also work. I'm not worrying about the little ones, the little yellow ones. That guy's going to go here. So there's nothing else with that one. This one has, I believe, something on the inside. That little purpley thing up there. So I might not have a little, oh, I do, look at that. There's a little purpley thing right there. But you could also use some side action from somewhere else, right? So, but I'm going to use that little purpley thing. Over here, there's nothing there. There's this one right here. There's a purple one with 2 arms coming out. And you guys have the ability to choose different patterns of flowers if you want something different, right? So this one goes over here. And now, for the main bouquet here. Oh, Carolyn Ketchmark. Wonderful. Okay, so we'll make sure we get you down for the sun, the fun in the sun, and on the waiting list for this class. That's awesome. So this is our bouquet, and I have this dark blue one here. He's that guy up there. There's a light pink like this one. He's off to the side. There's this one. That's coming up over here. And then this one must be this guy right here. So I'm gonna just see what this looks like. You could also potentially use this one and strategically cut it so that it doesn't look like it was the side of the paper. But we're gonna grab this one. You guys, if you were, I forgot to say this earlier, if you were watching Kelly this morning do paper pumpkin, she had just wrapped up and she was ending the live stream and our power went out for an hour and a half. They were doing work on the power lines here, so it knocked out our internet. So I'm so happy it wasn't next week when we're live with Fun in the Sun. So we had no power. We were all working in the dark here, and Kelly had just finished it. So it straggled at the end for a while. But then we called Jolene, and Jolene helped us end the live video, which was what we needed. So this guy right here, ooh, that's kind of big for right there. There's this one right there. I'm going to use that on the inside, or this one could also work. That's the guy I used. That could work there. This could also work. So you have some of this side action, I call them side flowers here. This one could work for that. And then I think I am going to use this one up here. That'll be nice. And then you're left with some stuff, right? And could you utilize these somewhere? Sure, why not? Like this one could potentially go hanging from up there, or it could be going across the top, right? I don't see why not, so let's cut him. Do you think because the flowers are cut off at the edge that it's bad? Don't think that, because you know that fits right there. It's very nice. And these guys too can get utilized somewhere. So for right now though, I don't think I need these in my life. So I'm just gonna set them off to the other side with my leftover papers that you can utilize later in life to make something pretty. Okay, so I think that we have the paper cut. What we still need to do though is we need to score that. And I think as long as we're kind of in that mode of prepping, let's prep that before we get too far lost in the weeds here. One ringy dingy, 2 ringy dingies, 2 scoops. Okay, so this paper right here, you guys, let's get that card kit out. So in your bag, you'll have some card kits, and it's this, I mean that one, yes. It must be, whatever I did, it was your golden tickets on the top, so the name of the class, today's date for future reference. It was this bottom one that I opened up, and nope, it's not that one. And it's not the one that's second last. It's not, hey, it's actually the one that's right directly underneath your golden ticket. All right, so it should be this guy. You're gonna open it up and you're gonna think, wow, there's hardly anything in this card kit. There's 3 things. And you're like, what happened? There's nothing in here. But it's the designer paper that really gives it the showcase. So you have your little 1/2-inch strip. You have your circly from the Spotlight in Nature. And you'll have to do a little hokey pokey here and turn yourself around, because that's what it's all about. All right, left hand. All right, that's good. And then you have your white piece for the inside. All right, so we got to do this whole scoring thing going on. So at the moment, you should grab your ruler, and the center of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So what you're going to want to do is put a tick-tock, applesauce, 2 3/4. I'll mark it 2 3/4 right in the middle. And then you also, the left and the right side, you want to put tick marks at 2 1/8. So right there, and you can erase these later. And then 2 1/8. I do it from the top because I'm going to straighten that out. So 2 1/8 right here. All right, so that's what we should need for our measurements. Then, I don't even know if I need this. I don't know. We're going to find out here in a second. I don't believe I used that for the first time. So I'm going to line these guys up and burnish with my bone folder. Okay, the trick is that, whoa, this folds in and then this folds out. And so what we need to do is from here to here, it's going to fold in. So let's just start here. I think what I did is I just used my ruler. Okay, so here's an easy button. Let me just show you. There's 2. I'm going to show you a couple of ways you can do this. One is you could score it. So finding your point with your tick mark to your score line. So pivot them until they're both right in the line of the scoring thing. Don't cut, score, right? So this is going to go from the score line to here. You can score it just like that. Then you need to pivot, so keep that there, and pivot this to your score line right there. Make sure that didn't move, and score, don't cut. All right, so that's one way you can do this, okay? So let's say you don't have a scoreboard though, okay? Because what happens is this is gonna go down, and then this is going to go up, right? You have to be super careful that your point doesn't get all lost weird. So I'm gonna put my ruler there and kind of help assist with it, right? Right, so that's what's going on here. Now, I was gonna show you another way. So the other way you could do this is putting your ruler, and I put it right so that you can still see the score, and right so you can see the pencil mark. And I can take my bone folder and go like this. Let's say you don't have a score tool like that. So you can take that and get it started. And then what you can do is bend it back like that. Right? Right, so that's the one. But now we have to do the other one too. So you can do the same thing. Grab your ruler. Find your score line right there. You don't want to go over the top of it. You want to be, to my eyes here, I want to be behind it or on the left-hand side of it. And then go to your score line here. And then go like that. So you could do this too. Okay? So that goes in and that goes out. So one was using the tool and one wasn't. Now you have to be kind of careful. So you don't want to like mutilate your pokey tip here. Sorry, because there. So I got it like that. Okay. That's how that goes. All right. it's not crazy. And also for those that have the tutorial, this is all documented in the tutorial. Jolene made a pretty diagram for you, so you always have it as a reference tool. All right, so now what do we need to do? We have our designer paper here, and we're going to end up gluing these two here, and this one, I think it goes like this, if I'm not mistaken. It should fit right in here, like that. All right, let's get glue happy. I have a paper scissors right here. There's some little tailsies hanging out on the ends. Kelly, yes, but I think it was a laugh, maybe. Wasn't it Lily Tomlin as operator who said, "One moment, please," and would also say as operator, "One ringy tingy." Oh, yes. So I get the "one moment, please." When I go to Festival Foods, we have a grocery store here in town called Festival Foods. And if you're paying with a credit card and you choose credit card, it says, "One moment, please. Follow the instructions on the pin pad." And that's, I don't know, I've been saying "one moment, please" for a long time because of that. So this is going to go right up here on the top triangle. And then we should just do a little stamping. The other thing too, we could glue this. What happens is we need to put a little glue in here to help hold that shut. So we'll grab, you gotta be careful where you glue though, because it doesn't all, it's all about right about there maybe. I don't want to put glue out here too far. I'm just gonna give that a moment. Let the heat from your fingers bond. And then also on the inside, oh, look at me. I did it on one side. Oh, it didn't stick. Look at that, my sample card here. That came up, so we can fix that, no worries. Okay, so that's back on track. So then we can do that on this side too. Just glue this guy down. We're gonna glue that down. And then gonna follow the reverse triangle there. All right, so we've got that. So that's gonna go flat. Now we're gonna do some stamping. I've got in here, I made this a birthday card, and the Beautiful Motifs has an awesome set of stamps called Beautiful Motifs, ha ha ha. So I think the suite is called Beautiful Gallery. There's a Celebrate. Now that's a commercial from that I used to watch for some pharmaceutical thing. Celebrate, go on and celebrate. I don't know if they still play it. I don't have TV really, so I don't know if they still have that on the TV or not, but probably 15 years ago that was on the TV a lot. I used to watch Grey's Anatomy and one other show on Thursday nights, and then like those would be your commercials that you'd get. Tanya said, "I love the piece of paper too." It is so pretty. So the Celebrate comes from Beautiful Motifs. Stamp that near the center and straight if possible. And then the other set that we pulled in for this one is from the online exclusives. It's called All Zipped Up. You need a sentiment that fits more vertical. Well, you could do horizontal too, but it was nice having this vertical look to it, which fits right in the V. All right. So the sad thing about it is that it is a red rubber. Not that it's sad, but I just have a hard time seeing through the red rubber. So we're going to practice. And how we're going to practice is we don't want to accidentally get ink on these. So I'm going to flip them over backwards. Hello, big boy. I hear you. I see you. Are you going to jump up here, little handsome kitten? And we're going to stage it and see if we can stamp it good on the first try. And if not, oh, it's good. We can flip it over and do the other side. But again, I put my DSP here as a guide to help me, but now they're really going to get glued back that way. And we don't really have a focal image on the inside because you've got all the flowers down here. So I'm going to flip these over again. Dance to the music. Yes, exactly. There's a song, Celebrate, Dance to the Music, from the 80s. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. All right, so there's that. And this little guy can go here. So line up your left, right triangle like that. And then our right triangle. Get it? It is a right triangle by 2 definitions because it's on the right and it's 90 degrees. All right, get it right. That's good. We can flip this over. I did have this sitting here because I thought, whoa, that will go on the inside, but nope, it won't go on the inside. And that's okay. This is gonna go here. Super cool. So we did the hardest. I thought we were gonna do this card last, you guys, but we totally knocked it off first. Knocked it off the list first. So this is gonna go back on my scrap pile. I don't know, right over here, I guess. And our circle is good to go. And there's nothing that's holding us back from adhering that. So let's go ahead and grab our dimensionals. This is a good use for the black dimensionals. All these cards, because there's a lot of black cardstock that got used in these. There is just this little hangy doohickey right there. I'm gonna get you off. There it is. Right, so black dimensionals will look really good with this. You won't even see them behind there. And then that gets centered. I've kind of got it kind of riding down this edge right here. So you see a little bit of the white on each side. So like that. And then you have a little bit more of the white at the top there. So that's where I got that hanging out. And our celebrate, you're going to have to angle the ends. So you could banner them. You could leave them as a straight, whatever you want. I like to go like this. And like that. So that's the song too. A little bit like that. A little bit like this. A little bit like that. Your flower from Bambi. This is where I did not do my homework ahead of time. So you guys are going to see a little bit of fussy cutting. There are no dies for this. And for those of you who are not the biggest fans of fussy cutting, maybe you could coerce a friend or family member to help you do your cutting when they are over or you're going somewhere. It doesn't hurt to ask. Or just do a little here and a little there, and then eventually they're all cut out. And I honestly think I'm only going to cut out for 3 of the cards, and I'm going to leave my bouquet, depending on the time. I might leave my bouquet uncut so that it depends on the time, right? Depending on how much it takes us to do the next 3 cards. I can show you how to stage everything, get it all done, and then show you what goes where. But we'll see. Because who wants to sit here and watch me cut all these flowers too? If Annette was still upstairs and she was watching, she may come down and cut. But she probably left. All right, so there's this guy. Like so. Now, I don't know if I have the tail hanging out. Let's just see here if the tail gets cut off. Oh, it doesn't. It's hidden behind there. So what we can do is pop this up. Now, black dimensionals or white dimensionals, it really doesn't matter on this one. But know that, oh yeah, I did a double stuffed Oreo there. So that guy is popped up twice. He's popped up from here and then from the circle. So we can grab that. And then one here, there, and everywhere. And let's leave it like that. We're going to put the little tail flat, I think. So grab a little glue, put that flat there. I got it something like that. Okay, so with this little label, you're going to use some of your faux ribbon. I know that Vicki Rodriguez, you had this ribbon prior to this class because you sent me an Easter card that used this ribbon as like a lattice look. It's super cool. And put a little tear and tape on the back. And I've got underneath the bra, underneath the BRA, you could have it like that. Now, it's not two-sided ribbon. It's definitely not attractive on this other side. So when you weave it back up, you kind of want to flip it so the velvet is up, right? Something like that. And then you're also going to have to do the same thing on this side. You have to flip it just so that the velvet stays up. And now we're under the salab. And then you can take a little tear and tape and finish it like that. Grab it. You guys, we got smart. We put little ribbons on our ribbon scissors. You trim that tail and that tail. So this is all the ribbon we have on this one. Just a little bit. And then this is going to go right across here. And I don't know if I did pop it up. So it's right here. And how I popped it up, I put a dimensional here. Let's put one here. And I'll put one right there. So I'm not going to put it on the back of my label. I'm going to put it right onto where I know it's going to go. And that's going to sit right like that. Cool. All right. So I have a deal with you guys. I'm not going to put my gems on because I have this that was in my kit, but I have an open pack that I left upstairs and I didn't grab it thinking, I thought it was down here. So I'm going to save this and I'm just going to show you where we put gems. There's purple, 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 and then a white. But you guys have a whole pack and you could put more or less on if you want. And these are the new Starburst sequins. Well, they're not new. They came out in March. But what's really cool about this is because of the designer series paper, you can Stella your flowers. You could Stella your leaves and they won't bleed at all. Right? So you could do all these guys. Perfect. There it is. All right. We got one done. The fanciest, craziest fold of them all. Let's see. Can Nancy mention something about buying Stampin' Up! When you're international? Well, I'm curious what you want to say. Because for all I know, Nancy, you are not allowed to, like from what I know is I'm a U.S. demonstrator, so I can't sell to people outside of the U.S. And for people who are in Canada, they are Canadian demonstrators, they can't sell to people outside. Unless you have dual citizenship. I understand that if you have dual citizenship, then I think you can sell to whatever countries you have the dual citizenship. So yes, I'm curious what you are saying. Well, thanks, Margine. I'm glad you like it. Now, we're not done. Wait, there's more because I have an envelope. And that envelope is not quite all the way to the edge. So we're going to go like so. And then I think I'm going to put it like that. And I'll get that whole green leaf in there. Thanks, Jeannie Gertis. Now you're probably wondering why I don't have enough for my envelope flap, but that's okay. We're going to cut it off, so don't you worry about a thing. Because we're going to flip it like this now, round that corner a little bit. Oh man, I forgot. It's 7 o'clock. Shoot, hang on, you guys. I was supposed to send something to Rachel for printing by 6 o'clock. I just thought she's going to be out of the office for the next 3 days. Did Kelly send it? Oh, she did. Okay, you guys, one moment, please. Sorry about this. I'm going to send this to Wild, Rachel. Hang on. 5 times 5 is 15. 6, 5 times 5. No, 5 times 3 is 15. 4 copies. Okay. You guys, I forgot to send the golden tickets to my printer. And she is leaving for 5 days. And I color actual and then copy paper. She was leaving the office at 6:30, so I don't know if I missed her. Oopsies. Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. I just thought if I don't do it now, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it. If not, too late. Oh, man. Okay. Done. Sorry for conducting business. Okay. there's a possibility that she's still in the office and she's running late because Rachel is always running late. Okay, we got one done. I love it. Okay, one done, 3 to go, and we are going to, which one? Let's do this one next. Okay, so this one is the boho blue. So you guys, boho blue is retired. It is officially retired, and we were able to secure enough card stock for all the cards for this class, which was awesome. So it was really great to everybody who was able to help us. We appreciate everybody chipping in and sending paper. Hello, Debbie Stone. I hope you're doing well. This is going to go right on here like that. It is beautiful. So it really is a little bit crazy to me that they introduced this paper in March, knowing that boho blue is an in color that was retiring in May. So it was really hard because now you have this beautiful, this paper is so pretty. Hello, is that Annette? Yeah. Oh, she's still here. You want to cut some flowers for me?
Oh my Lord. This is going to be a 12-hour day.
I know. You guys, she's been here since 8. You can tell me no.
What ones you mean for the cart?
Yeah, do you want to cut these? Yeah, okay. And then this one. Do this one first. Okay.
This one first?
That one first. Okay. Yes. Woo! Yay! Vanna's here, you guys. Vanna is in the house. All right. Hello, Carmen Sanders. I purchased something else from the U.S. seller. I not only had to pay for an exchange rate, but the customs charges and tariffs is half the price of my purchase. Okay, Nancy. And that is exactly why I do not ship my, like, I don't, from a kit perspective, I could potentially ship my kits to outside of the United States, but I don't want to deal with it. I am a licensed customs broker by my trade, and I could do it and but I don't want to deal with it. It's not worth it by the time you pay all the extra stuff for shipping internationally and for the customs fees. Not worth it. Not worth it, especially if something's not like let's say you don't know what you're doing and you do it wrong. Not worth it. Okay, let's look at our pieces here. All right. Oh, Angelique says hello. Annette.
Oh, hi.
She says hi back.
Sorry.
That's okay. You probably didn't know I was talking to you. All right, so then these pieces will go here and here, right? So dry fit, you guys. Definitely do your dry fittings, right? And test them out to make sure you're happy with them. Because you could at this moment trim the DSP a hair, or you can't make the purple bigger, but you could trim the DSP a hair, right? That's what you could do. And then Annette will be here, and Carmen will be here soon. They'll be here for the escape. They come in on Friday of a week from tomorrow they'll be here. Wow. Oh, Angelique, wow. Oh, yes, Annette's going to miss you guys because she's here on Wednesday and then she's gone. All right, let's make sure we get this guy right. So this goes, okay, so your paper might not be folded the way it's supposed to, but I guess we'll look at it in a moment. This one was correct, but my gals who were folding they didn't really care how they folded. They just wanted to make sure your kit got in the envelope. So if you're curious, inquiring minds want to know, this one is 2 3/4. This side is 2 1/2. The side that's on 2 3/4 is your mountain. And then we get a valley. And then this guy actually needs to go the other way, right? And then this one goes this way, right? So we'll look at it in a moment in time here. But just know that my 2 1/2 side is here. My 2 3/4 is on this side. And so it's mountain, valley, out, right? Okay. So that's what we've got going on. If you can see here, that's what we got. And we could get a little glue happy if we are in the mood for gluing. We could flip our stillskin these over. And let's glue this. Annette thought she wouldn't get out of cutting. She did this, oopsies. Okay, if you get glue on it, that's okay. We have an adhesive eraser that will help get that off. She did this class last night with Diane, so she knows what it's all about. So we got that. We have one more week for you gals to be here, yay. Okay, so there's that. You got the purpley one?
Well, I think so. My eyes don't see real
Oh,
light
you're
on the
good.
light colors.
Okay, so this, she's got that cut for me, yay. I am going to take a paper towel here for the moment and just kind of wipe this off. It's tacky and wet, so I'll get it in a little bit. But what happens is you cannot have adhesive here and here. So what you're gonna wanna do, making sure you got the right side here. Hi, Mr. Santiago. What you wanna make sure you're gonna do is glue it here. You don't wanna go too close to the edge of glory. So, oh, hello, hunky noodle boy. Mr. Santiago, I sent you an email. It must have been in early May. I don't know if you want to check your inbox for it or check from me. You had gotten the DSP sampler and you had marked that you wanted it shipped with Stampin' Fun in the Sun, but I didn't see you register for Stampin' Fun in the Sun. Hello, kitten. So I needed you just to confirm if you did want to do Stampin' Fun in the Sun. And if you don't, that's okay. We just got to get shipping on the DSP sampler then. So that's, I guess, Mr. Santiago, just letting you know that's what the email was about. All right. So again, no adhesive. Now I'm going to flip this back and we're going to put adhesive here. Hello, Hunky. The ladies say hello to you. All right. So same thing. Don't get too close to the edge. And hello, where are you going, buddy? This one's going to go here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you stretching? Hi, kitten. Let's grab the adhesive eraser now. What are you wanting to play? So we're going to get this off of the corner here. And Annette, if you tap your fingers on the table, Hunky might come running. I'm not quite certain. You gonna go, buddy? Annette wants you. She's gonna play with you. Yeah, she's gonna give you some lovin's. Maybe? No? He got interested. All right, so we've got these two things glued. There he goes. Now you better not disappoint him. And then this one can get glued on the back panel here. Yeah, he wanted love. He was looking for some pets. All right, perfect. And if you can't find it, Mr. Santiago, just send me a note and I'll look to resend it to you, okay? All right, so that's the core of this card. Now we have a little stamping to do. So wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime is in your beautiful motifs, right? So we can take that out of here. And this is going to be perfect for a wedding card. I know we've got some summer weddings coming up for people. So that's a really pretty wedding card. You're going to make the green ink appear on this little stylish shape. And it's a stylish circle that goes right, it fits perfectly in here. All right, yeah, he was chasing something out the window and then he got distracted by fingers tapping. You could put wishing you love and happiness, and then you could put celebrate. Oh yeah, let's do celebrate. But we don't have it ready for the green, so we're going to, oh, I just lost it. It just fell off. I think we'll stamp it in green. Now, remember we have this little flower. I'm gonna put that up here in the corner instead of stamping the leaf. And so we're gonna go, oop, I lost my C. And you know what? I actually think instead of doing garden green, I'm going to stamp it in, here he comes. He's walking this way. Ooh, ooh. Barbara Gobby. Nancy was on the white. A lot of this. He was very, very upset. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna flip this over. I cleaned it. I got the green off. Hunky Noodle wanted water, and I think I'm gonna prefer to stamp it in the black, right about there. Oh, I got my C, and then now my flower's still gonna fit right there, so that's good. I'm good with that. And we'll give Annette a little more time to finish those, and we'll just do this one really quick. No, you're okay. You're prepping me for the next card because I wasn't even gonna put it together. I was gonna leave it lingering and just tell people how it was gonna go together, but you're helping me get the card done. All right, so we got that little guy here. So we can glue this. And we're going to glue this one. This goes down there. And then this little guy can go right there in the corner. It's really pretty. Okay, I mean, I had stamped a little leaf, right? But you guys can do whatever you want. Then we have the label-y circle things going on. So lots of stuff happening here. This leaf was an afterthought for us, so we added it later. And what I'm going to do is just prep these outer three with dimensionals. And because I kind of can see where I have it, I'm going to just put it on the card. Originally we didn't have it and we thought it needed some extra zhuzhing up. So knowing now that it's here, I think I can just use this card as a guide and set it here. Something about right there. I'm not going to press down really hard in case I do want to adjust it. This one is going to get, those are flat, but I did pop up this little flower part. And this one gets, we're going to put a little glue dot for now over here and over here. Okay. And then this gets liquid glue, but you got a little bit of wiggle room because it doesn't dry so fast, right? So I'm going to set this down, or like kind of hover over. This is all hovering, you guys. This is all like in one fell swoop. So this is going to set right about here because you can see there's 3 leaves like that, the 3 main ones, and then a little bit poking out. So then like that. And then I'm going to set this over the top. You can see the 2 leaves there and 1 here. So it looks something about like that. And you've got about 1 little baby pinky fit with away over here. All right, that's what I got. And then this is going to get popped up with some dimensionals like that. Okay, just make sure you try to put your sentiment on straight as possible, right? And then we've got a bow here. So the bow is a little bit thick. So for those that don't want the whole big wonky bow, you could do something else. You could make an overhand knot. But if you want to go for the bow, you're going to need to grab the ribbon. And because this is one-sided ribbon, you have to be careful. You want to make sure that the velvet side stays out. So when I loop around here, I'm going to make sure that the velvet is always, this is the front back here. And then when you crisscross applesauce, I'm going to cross it so the velvet is on the top here, wrap it around. And then when I tie my bunny ears, I'm going to make sure that the velvet is to the front. So right now it's kind of backwards. So I'm going to, as I tighten my knot, I'm going to twist it so that the velvet is facing that way. Right? And then grab the ribbon scissors. Let's trim it. And then let's see what we got on the front of the bow. Then you've got velvet, 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 velvet in the middle, and then the velvet tails, like the Velveteen Rabbit. All right, then this goes right over here. Such a cutesy patootsy little bow. And we're gonna put about 3 glue dots here. So 1, 2, and maybe a 3rd one for good measure. And then stick that in here. I made sure to keep them all in a line so that the middle catches and then that side catches. Now the tails, that tail went a little bit backwards on me, and I can still show it who's boss by taking my glue dot and putting it right underneath where the tail is, right? And then twisting it and putting it into it, right? Now you could do that for the top one too, but it seems to be going the way that I want it to. And you're gonna grab those ribbon scissors, trim a tail and trim a tail. And that's how you get the most cute little bow on your card. And the gemsies on here, you've got a few up here. It's hard to see them, but there's purple, purple, white, and then I've got a white and purple. But you guys got a whole pack that you can add them how much or as few as you want. And then you've got this. You tied these bows for us, right? Mary Lemke, nice try. I did not, but you're probably going to bring your ribbon with you in person and ask me to make your bow for you. I can see it already. The writing is on the wall. All right, so I think that looks really nice with that flower up there too. And for these two, you guys, Stella, those flowers. Just like that. You could Stella your leaves here too. Whatever you want. Cool. You could even, you guys, you could Stella these guys. Yeah, Barbara Gobby. Mary was just teasing. She knows that I did not make the bows for everybody. She was hopeful that I made the bows for everybody. You are so certain. You're so correct, Barbara. Like everybody got a spool of ribbon, right? I don't open up. We do make the bows here when it's not from a spool of ribbon. So. And either Annette's been doing it, sometimes Chris does it, and sometimes, like, the majority I do it, but Annette really helped me this week with making bows. So, all right, so we've got 2 done, you guys. These are what we got knocked out of the ballpark. All right.
That was Rhonda.
Sorry, did I just say Annette?
Yeah.
Hi, you guys, Annette is sitting right here. She's like, no, that was Rhonda that did that. I did so good. I've been doing so good with you two. Like, they're always here and they're always together helping me. And so it's crazy how I can, like, I mindlessly said it and I knew it was wrong until you said it, though. I didn't realize I said it wrong. So all good. You girls are both amazing. That's all I know. All right, so this next one is the bottom one. And this is your gatefold. So when you open it up, it should have 2 folds or flaps like this. Sandy's so bad tying bows, but I can tie my shoes with no issues. Well, at least you can get your shoes. That's really important. Everybody needs a bow maker. Game changer. Yes, Cindy. I never made bows before. So what you guys have is this piece is for your inside as well as this. Okay, let's just test the waters here. Yep. All right, I can live with that. Then you have 2 of these, which are your top and bottom panels. And on the inside of here is where I set my die cutting or my designer paper. That'll be for my envelope. Top is the top, right? So that'll go here and here. You have a little slip here for a hello. Hello, you called. Is it me you're looking for? And then we've got the Countryside Corners dies, right? So that's where our flower bouquet is going to go on. And first things first, though, let's get this burnished. I do the one side, and then what happens is I'm going to flip it this way, and I'm going to make sure they butt up together really nicely and don't overlap. Then I'm going to burnish the other side. And then we're going to just double check those. Oh, that looks nice. Very nice. Karen Wetstein cut these purple pieces for you. I do know that. And she did a great job. All right, so I'm going to flip these both like this. Oh, man, that yellow paper, though. I'm okay covering that side up, I'll be honest. And then this one goes on here. And then this one goes here. All right, and then I'm gonna flip these both over again. And I'm gonna flip this over and this over. So we got 4 things we can glue here. Like that. And then this one. Okay, let's do this guy first. Over there. And then this was our inside piece. I do like a good gatefold card, right? And then this one. Ask and you shall receive. Look at this action. Good job. Right in the nick of time, you guys. Do you see what just came in? Hot like Flynn here. In like Flynn. Look at this. In came the flowers, just like that. Right on time.
Steal the water.
Yeah, take a water, definitely. And before I ask you of anything else, leave.
I am, or my husband won't know who I am anymore.
Anymore, right? Thank you, Annette.
See you.
See you later. Have a good weekend. Thanks. All right, and then this guy will go there. So let's get him glued. Boom. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Oh, yeah. We'll make popcorn.
Oh, I love it. I could go for popcorn too. We should make popcorn. Bye.
Bye.
All right, let's trim this. I could say that I was really looking forward to this class tonight. These cards have been so much fun to design and so much fun to look at here in the hive while they've been on display. They're so bright and cheerful in time for this nice summer that we have coming up. All right, so let's get this guy trimmed right here. So you can get by with about a 2-inch piece right there for your envelope flap, no problem. Oh, Mary says thanks. Sorry, I missed telling her that, Annette. I mean, I'm sorry, Mary. Annette's already left. Oh, you guys, here's a little honeysuckle sighting. Honey, hi, baby girl. Mom, I just want water. All right, that was our little honey. This now, all right, these are glued together, so this is going to get just attached at the top. Black dimensionals are perfect for this as well. And I'm gonna put a row of them here at the top, like that. And then I'm gonna put a row at the bottom of the flap. And then we're gonna connect the two. So I don't believe we mentioned this in the tutorial, and it was an afterthought. But for those of you who have a Velcro dot, that might be really nice to add to it. And I have some in the drawer. I'm going to show you what they look like. We've used them before in class. The Happy Hibiscus class that we did back for game night. In December we used them. Let me just go grab them so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Hello, baby cakes. We came upon these, I don't remember, if you're the person, somebody last year brought these to our attention. I used to use thicker ones, but apparently there's crafting Velcro dots. You can get them on the Amazonian, or the Amazon, the internets, somewhere out there. I don't know. Joann's is kind of like closing up shop, I guess. So Michael's or somewhere, right? You could get these little, they're called Velcro crafting dots. And I didn't put them in your kits. That was like, I don't have on my sample, so you don't have it. But if you're concerned about it flapping in the wind there, opening up, these are really great because you can take, I've got these paired up already together apparently. And you can put that down right in the middle there. And then when you put it, it helps to keep the card closed. And it doesn't rip the, oh, it didn't even stay attached. So one moment, please. Let's see. Yes, you got to give it a little firm pressure, but then it helps to keep it shut by just a little bit of a Velcro action. Okay, you can buy them on Amazon. I think they're $3 for a pack of 56 dots. The size on them is 3/8 of an inch. And they're not in your kit, but just something that we were thinking about after the fact. That might be nice to add. Okay, so we have flowers going on here. And this one goes like that. This one's gonna go like this. That one goes over here. And this guy comes up like that. So we have a little bouquet going on. And we need the word hello. You called. Is it me? Oh, Office Depot. The Office Depot. That works too. Hello, you called. Let's get the Memento black white ink pad. And we're going to stamp hello on our little 1/2-inch strip. Go right, oh, I'm going to put it way over here. Sure. And then, I don't know if I have anything on the inside. Oh, I didn't cut these. But that's okay. We can always cut those later. I'll show them to you. It's a hello card or any kind of card, you guys. You have that much room. And all those beautiful motifs, just a note, hello, celebrate, all of that would fit in here. So I am going to grab my trimmers though. I don't always cut straight. And we can put that right on the little baby guillotine here. And then we got our little hello. Okay, but now we have ribbon. a loop and a tail, a loop and a tail, a oompa loompa on a tail on that side. All right, so you're gonna need your tear and tape and the ribbon for this endeavor. And we're gonna start with this blue one, the blue 42. So in the crevasse here, you can put a little tear and tape, and you're gonna do a loop and a tail. So catch that tear and tape with the velvety side up, make a loop so it stays up like that. And then when you bring it up, two things, you gotta maybe cut it, because if you twist it back there, it's gonna get lumpy. And so what I was just cut it and have that tail come up like that and trim it. Oh, that's not a ribbon scissors. Hang on, that was not working so hot. There it is. And then grab your tear and tape. And there's that. So that's that one. I did put dimensionals behind the leaf here, and this leaf, and that leaf, and then this part is going to be glued flat, but I just staged that. There's nothing behind this one, but over here, you're also going to need some tear and tape. Now, if you look at my flower here, you can see I went way far in. And then you can see the ribbon come through. When Annette cut this for me, she didn't go in so far. So you have a choice to make. Like, you could leave it that the ribbon comes out from over there, or you could opt to go in a little bit further and take care of that, because it does let you go in there. There's an opening to go in, but just depends on how much cutting you want to do. So what you could do is just go in a hair more. You'll get to see a little bit more of that ribbon, I think. This one, I'm not going to go all the way in there. I'm just going to do around that leaf a little bit and around that stem. I think this one, I'm going to go right in to the nook and the cranny. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to put that tear and tape right like that probably, and like this. And you're gonna, I did a loop and a tail, so let's see what we can accomplish with this. So, like that, got the loop coming out right here, like that. And then it might be beneficial, on scissors, one moment please, to cut it and then have that tail come out right through there. Like that. Okay, and then button that up with some tear and tape. Now this, for the most part, this leaf up here doesn't have anything holding it. That one doesn't, that one doesn't. Ooh, that one might. I guess what we're going to see is what we can get by with for dimensionals. We're going to put one right there. Right there. That flower can get one. We'll put one on that leaf back there. That leaf can get one. And I think for now we'll put right here, there. Right, so that's kind of staged. And then on this one, this backside flower here's got a loop, and a tail. Hello, Debbie Gast. Wow, better late than never is so true. All right, so this guy can go here. And then we're gonna put right about there. And I'll leave this little guy waiting in the wings on that finger. And I'm gonna grab this over here. And so this is a loop, and a tail, but it's going up to down. So we're gonna start right in the middle of that petal. And this is backwards for me, so I'm gonna go like this, and then we're gonna cut it. And then we're gonna do another one. Have it start right, you might need that little piece of tape right now. Put that right over the top. You guys get to feel like a floral arranger here, a floriste. So that's gonna go right there. It's so weird to be left-handed with this, but that's how it's gonna go. Right there, a loop. Trim that off. And then we need a tail. And so I'm going to put this right over the top. We're going to take it off. Grab our tail, like right there. That'll come out, trim it like that. So we've got a loop, and a tail. Then we're going to leave that, well, we're just going to put a little tear and tape on that to help hold that last piece in. This has no dimensional, the bottom does, so let's put one right there. And we're going to put one near the top right there. That leaf has one. That leaf is hanging out underneath there, so we're just going to let that be. Let's just see what we can start laying down. This blue one's going to go first. Well, let's get everything staged. I feel as though we're going to just start laying everything down and it's going to all come together. And this one. And then the last guy, what is happening with him? We're going to put one up there. There's room for a little dude right there. And I did not put one there. That one can get one right here. And then we'll put as a glue dot at the base. It's all about the base. Put a couple glue dots there. For the blue one, we're going to put some liquid glue down here. All right, you ready for it? So, we got this one hanging out like that. This one hangs out like that. This one hangs out with this leaf underneath there. Maybe something like so. And then this one tucks in like that. Okay, that's what we've got. A big floral arrangement. And there's a little spot right there in the middle for our sentiment. And go right there. Now, if it's in the spot you want it, squish it down real good. And if it's not, rearrange it as necessary. And now get a feel for what is not good. This one is not hanging. This one definitely could get a little dimensional. This guy as well. Seems like he needs some support. Support there. That one could stay. So on mine right here too, it's almost off. So I'd have to put it really close to the bottom of the leaf like that. That's all right. This is good. This one, I forgot to take the back off of him. Okay, that's fixed. He's off the edge, she's off. This is good. Muy bonito. Okay. There are some gems on it. Gem, and one gem fell off because there used to be another gem right there. Everywhere, gem. You can definitely go crazy on the Stella-ing. All over. Thank goodness. If Annette wouldn't have done this, you guys wouldn't have, I don't know if I would have gone through the effort of cutting all that. For you guys to see how to put that together, you guys got to tell Annette, thank you. And because of her, we got it done. All right. Now the inside, oh, there's a Velcro thing, I forgot. Okay, so the inside, I have these flowers. I have this white piece. Stamp whatever you want for a sentiment. Now I have this piece right here that goes, I'm going to cut that off right there. And then I'm going to put this one right there. I think that's my plan. That's my plan of attack. Or I could put that one there and this one right there. I might do that. Now, I don't think I'm going to do the effort of cutting that, but that's what would be the next step on this card. Okay? So, let's put you there. And put you here, because we have one more to do, and we just hit 8. I chitty-chatted a lot on the front end, you guys. There's so much to talk about, like Mr. Rogers, right? We had so much to talk about. Okay, that goes with this one. And I'm just going to stage this on the inside of here. That will be ready for the future. Again, you guys, the Velcro dots was an optional add-on that we did just tonight. And then you've got a matching pretty fresh freesia envelope for that. Cool. Beans and bagels. All right, so that guy goes here. And then there was one left. And I think that this last one is so exciting. I've never made a card. Well, for the fun folds tonight, I had never done this one and I had never done the pointy one. So it was really fun to experience making those. Okay, well, let's grab all of our pieces here. This one is a lot of gluing, all right? All right, so let's get glue happy. Let's do it right off the bat. Okay, I have in the inside here, well, we'll dry fit. Hang on, let's dry fit. Let's be smart. Let's dry fit. So that looks nice, very nice. This one, you guys, Karen Wetstein cut all these little purples, and Chris Duderenki helped with cutting these guys. I would like to say that this piece of Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, right here, when you put this all lined up, this is 11 inches by 4. Super cool because it uses basically a half a sheet of paper. This plus this plus this plus this is 11, which was awesome. It was so awesome. So it was really cool cutting those. All right, so let's all go to A and W. All right, there. This is going to be our inside. I'll cut that in a moment. So then this piece, now you're going to be like, well, my piece doesn't fit on here. That's okay. What happened is I knew we needed this size of purple, and this. This is our inside that there was really, it gets covered up, right? So it made sure it was just to right here. So yes, your DSP is going to be longer than this last piece of purple. That's okay. It's all right. Then what I'm going to do is flip. A squeaker! I hear a baby. This one goes on here. And then you're going to want your white one to go on to the one that doesn't have a hole, right? Because you got to write a sentiment on there. And then you're going to have 2 of these greens. One gets cut. So if you look at this right here, let's see here. This goes here. One goes here. This is this guy right there. Right, so that one makes sense, right? This one and this one, this got Freddy Krueger'd. It really did. So this guy, I think these all 3, I don't think I know. All 3 of these kind of go apart. This, and it really doesn't matter at this point, but that one is this guy right here. And then this one goes here. And then that one goes here, right? So that one needs to get cut apart. It just made sense. It worked good. Then you have a 1/2 inch here for your sentiment, your white punch of a circle, and then your spotlight and nature die. That got cut out of that guy right there. Burnish. Let's burnish it first and make sure we get it folded correctly. So we did punch everybody's here. So this is a gift card holder. So that goes in like that. This goes down like that. And then this is what wiggles back and forth, right? So it has this, it goes this way. And then it also could go this way. Let's burnish it both ways. Right. All right. So now I think we can get a little glue happy. Let's see what we can glue. All right. So, and let's then hope a cat doesn't jump up here. So we're going to glue this one. We're going to glue both of these. This gets glued from the top. We're going to glue this, and we're going to just do the purple for now. All right, so let's see how many pieces this is. All right, you guys are going to be like, oh my goodness, it's too much. Okay, so that one. This, whoa, I got close to the edge. All right, then this one, don't go too close. There. And then we're going to do this one, and then this one. All right, we good? I think we're good. So this is going to go on here. Like that. This one's going to go on here. Like that. This one goes onto here. No stamping. You don't see a lot of the white circle, but it just accents it. Now this one goes underneath on here. So that'll go here. Eventually that will work its way down. And then this one nestles inside of it. So don't worry about that extra overhang because this is going to close on top of it, right? All right, this is our inside piece that goes right here. All right, but now we're not done. There's more. We can flip these two over, and we could do our envelope flap. And this guy went all with, oh, and oh, there it is. All right, that, and then this. All right, so let's get this onto that. And let that marinate for a moment. Then this one goes, right, because this is going to go like this, right? This one goes down here. Oh, fresh Frisian black is so cool. And then this goes here on what is the outside of the card. All right. Now, these sides here, if you have the 1/8 inch tear and tape, great, use it. If you don't, and you need a tear and tape that's 1/4 inch, you can use that much. And what you're gonna do is grab your glue scissors and you can cut it right down the middle. And what I would do is start on this side and have it go right along the edge there and along the edge here. Don't worry if it goes over the score line because you're going to end up folding this into itself, right? So you're just doing, you could use liquid glue too, but it might ooze out. So I'm safer with using the 1/4 inch and then cutting it in half, or use your 1/8 inch. Sometimes paper pumpkins have that 1/8 inch in them. All right, so far so good. Now this, we had a flower here. So let's do this flower next. Flower. Oh man, all the little points. I should have had Annette do this one before she left too. But you guys, at least we got the other one done. So on this flower, we're going to attach some ribbon to the back, and we're going to attach leaves. So I think in the PDF tutorial, we didn't really call out that the leaves get Freddy Kruegered like that. So I think we just said attach the leaves to the back. So in case you're wondering why it doesn't quite lay like you think it should, it's probably because they got cut apart. The one did get cut apart. It just flowed better with the card. So let's do this. Almost done. And then we'll do the little guy right along with it. There was a little purple flower that we'll do, that's going to attach on the inside. So you guys, that scrapbooking card is very similar to this class. It's going to be a lot of little fussy cutting flowers, but I think it's going to be amazing when you're all done with it. What's really cool about this DSP is you really can be very creative with it. It's also complementary and melds really nice together. So we've got these cut out, right? Now let's pull these back for a second, but keep them together like that. So there's a loop, and 2 tails coming out in between right there. So you're gonna need to grab the tear-in tape. Yeah, I agree, Cheryl. The stripes on this card are really cool. I'm gonna do 3 of them over here. And we're gonna put this way and that way. And even one more shorty doo-wop right there. Yeah, Kathy, that's awesome. I'm glad you like that tip. All right, so we're going to take all these off. So the more you push down on the tear-in tape, the easier it is that it comes loose. All right, so we've got that staged. And what we're going to do is a loop, and then tail and a tail. And the loops come off of this guy right here, right out of each side of it. So we got attach the tear-in tape. And then it does, this is really thick ribbon. It's better to cut it. And then make another one. I'm going to come up this way though. bring it into it like that. It's just a hair bigger. And now would be good to do that. Cut it off. And then you can bring out 2 tails. 2 turntables and a microphone. And I lost my tear and tape, so we got to peel this off because it wasn't sticking. So like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's one. You have to trim it. You're going to need more tear and tape, you guys, because it really, I had too much over on that side, I guess, so I didn't need it all there. But that's okay. And then one more tail. Right there. Okay, and trim that. So I think that's it for the ribbon. So you got loop, loop, tail, tail. I'm gonna wait to cut my tails until I'm done. Now we gotta add some, okay. So the instructions that we wrote were basically put the ribbon behind here, attach the leaves to the back, put it onto the circle, attach the circle to the front. That's what we wrote, okay? Now, the question is though, like, how do you get all these leaves on here? What's the easiest way to do it, okay? So this is how I would do it. I gotta finish up here just one piece of tear and tape on the back like that. All right, so this is how I would do it. I am going to take some dimensionals and secure them around the perimeter like that, as well as one right in the middle. I guess this is my thought process. I'm gonna take the one off of the middle, and actually I wanna get my circle on here. So I would attach the circle on here. And again, you can do it any which way you see that works best, but it does get attached on the bottom. It doesn't get attached on the top, all right? So I'm gonna put 3 of them like that. And then goes right about here. It's about 1 finger width from the bottom. And I'm a little hair off to the side here. You can see just a little bit of that black DSP. So something about that. Because what happens then, this goes like this, right? So you can see if you don't have it secure enough, you're gonna, oh look, Nita, I went over the edge by a little bit. So we're gonna pull this up and move it right there. Move over, Red Rover. Purple circle's coming over. All right, now this one, I took it off only in the middle, right? So it's only sticking by the one. And I'm gonna secure that on my circle, right? Because I like to get my circle planted where, or circle, flower, circle, what, you flower in the circle, okay? So flower in the circle, like that, attached, okay? Now what you can do is attach your leaves to it. And they're all kind of like gonna be tucked in, and then when it's all said and done, we're gonna take those backs off, right? So this leaf as a whole right here, I can pick this up and I can put that in there now. And what I want to do is attach glue dots to the back of this. So we're going to put them strategically right where the stem meets the leaf. And we're going to tuck them in there, right? So now you can, because it's only sticking in the middle, you can gently pull this up and find the spot where you want it, right? So it's going to, like that. Now, the problem is that this one right here, I've got a glue dot there. So that's not gonna work so well, right? It's gonna be hanging off. But what I could do is put that glue dot right in a little further, right? And if you want it shorter, you can always bend it in and take it and tuck it in a little bit more, right? So that's that. This one right here, what we can do is liquid glue. So here's the deal. If you use liquid glue, it might go through the little holes that are here. So that's why I've been using the tear and tape, or you could use tear and tape, but the little glue dots are good here. So there's that one and that. And now this is going to get picked up and tucked in right there, right? And then you have these 2 left. Same concept here. We're gonna grab 4 of these. Closer to where the stem is, like that. And one more right there. Good thing she ran when she could. Yup, it is true. All right, this one is that guy, and that's gonna tuck, so lift that up, find a good spot for it right there, and then this one lifts up You don't need necessarily this whole tail right there. Let's cut that off. Oh my goodness, there you go. And now this is gonna go right underneath here. It shows off that ribbon. Now you can trim that tail and this tail, right? But we're not done. We don't have a lot of security blankets going on here. So we're gonna lift this up and take off this. This is where you could also pull out your scalpel, right? Your tweezers. And you could use your tweezers to do the assist, right? And so now those are secured. This one, I just used my nail. So there's that. He's down. And there's some right here. Got one there. All right. Whew. That was a flower workout, if I've ever seen one. Okay. Very nice, though. We have a sentiment yet to put on here. And this guy. This is up there in the corner. And I did thinking of you. And when it's thinking of you, you could leave it blank on the inside. And you could stamp a sentiment. So stamp your sentiment first. And then glue this down. Because in case you don't like the way you stamp it, you could flip it over. And on this one, we have thinking of you. So I love beautiful, I love stamp sets that have multiple universal sayings. Like these all are great. I don't know about this stuff so much, but everything else is great. Like I haven't worked with them yet, so I can't tell you what I feel about them really. I just don't know, right? But I do like the thinking of you. And we're gonna put that on with the black white ink pad, Memento ink. And thinking of you, I have it all the way to the left for the most part. And then we're gonna angle, oh, that's going a little crooked, just a little. You don't have much room to work with though, because if you don't stamp it good, you're gonna see it back there, right? So I'm gonna try it again, because I think I was really close to the, oh, that's worse. It's not bad, but this side's, oh. So you know what happens when you have a white sentiment and you're not exactly fond of it. You can go to your scrap drawer and potentially find another 1/2 inch scrap. And that's all I'm gonna do. So let's see if this is long enough. Ooh, that's not long enough. Dang it, Bobby. All right, hang on one moment, please. Oh, man. Okay, so here's the trick. For all of you that have the Guillotine Baby trimmer, if you don't know this, this silver area is exactly a 1/2 inch. You butt your paper up to it, and it cuts a 1/2 inch for you, all right? I want to cut another one, because when you're making cards and you're not happy with something not being straight, it's good to make it the way you like it. And that's good. All right. And not like the other ones were bad. They just weren't great. All right, so then grab your non-ribbon scissors. How do you keep sentiments arranged to find the words and fonts you want? Oh my goodness. All right, so Nancy, I cannot lie. I currently work with current product because I really do try to feature current product in stamping classes. And I alphabetize my stamp sets, and when I'm looking for something in particular, I have this. I can't handle looking at stamp sets on a computer or on my phone. Now that I have this handy dandy little reference tool, I scour this for the stamp. So like I have this committed to memory. I know what this looks like. So if I'm looking for little words, this is perfect. But if I was looking for the sentiment that went into here, right? Like that size, I would go through my book. I'd be like, where do I find a long, skinny, up and down sentiment? And I know I'm going to find one in the You Are Remarkable, because we just featured that in a class. So I've got that kind of committed to memory, but I would actually just pull this up. Here, you are, I don't remember where You Are Remarkable is, but I'm sure it's coming up soon. But I would look through, this is how I stay organized with stamps, dies, embossing folders. I'd look through here. I look through you guys don't even see my eyes, but I'm going through and I'm scanning this till I find the sentiment that I'm looking for. And generally when we design cards, we design with the size of the label, knowing that that's the size that works with the layout of the card we're doing. And then we find the sentiment for it. So here, You Are Remarkable has some vertical sentiments in it. Those 3 are vertical sentiments. So that's how I would do it. And if you don't have the Beekeeper's Guide, I don't know. You would have to look in the catalog. Like I know people have apps on their phone where they keep track of sayings and sentiments. Right? I don't have time personally to keep track of an app with my stamps and my sentiments on them. I know people also make photocopies. They take these guys out, and they'll photocopy this, and they'll put it into a book, a binder, right? That's another way you can do it. Like I have ideas that you could use, but I don't personally use anything but my Beekeeper's Guide. Now, if I am looking for a past stamp set, I have to know it. Like all my stamps are alphabetized by first letter of the stamp set name. So if I don't know the name of the stamp set, then I'm sitting there looking at each one of the pictures. So it really does help having the name. This guy is going to go right here. And I think we're going to have room for one insy tinsy teeny little white dimensional right there. You thought I was going to say polka dot bikini. No. Then this gets a little liquid glue. And we're going to set that on here like that. And from a gems perspective, I'm missing one on my card. There used to be one right here. It is removed in the course of time. It got removed. And then there's one here. And I think that there was also maybe one over here. Like they fell off. And you guys can go add them. So let's Stella this. Now here's my question for you guys. Do you want to see, there are 2 classes that were designed, whoa. There's been I did 5 cards yesterday, and Diane and I did 4 on Tuesday, and 3 were done on Saturday. So we've designed 4 cards, and Rose just sent me pictures. I may, if you guys are like inquiring and like can't wait to see, I can give you guys a sneak preview. I'm not going to talk about them very much, but I'll give you a sneak preview of the cards because we're at like 8:24, so I don't want to keep you guys going much longer. I know it gets to be bedtime. But if you guys want to see a sneak peek of what it is, or do you guys just want to be like, no, we can wait till the showcase. I can do that too. But don't forget your envelope. And you can see how cool this is going to look. Oh, yes. So yes. So what happens, Nancy, is you have a combination of current stamps and not current stamps, and you're wondering how you do it. So hopefully I listed off 2 other ways you could do it. An app would definitely be helpful, and also printing. Oh, isn't that cool, you guys? I love it. So don't forget your gems, right? There's lots of gems. I'm not going to use them. Vicky's inquiring. No, Yvette, you didn't miss the June showcase. Yvette Lopez, it's tomorrow at 2 Central. I just finished designing the cards this morning, actually at 2:45, and they're burning a hole in my pocket, and I'm really curious if you guys want to see them. So you guys want to see a sneak peek, so I'll do that. You guys can tell me what your favorite card is. How about that? I'll go grab them. So this is one that we did. Whoa, I have the dominoes happening here. So let's not have our dominoes happen. This one is here. I did this one with you guys. And I also have an envelope. That's not. I have an envelope right here. It fell. Aha, it was upside down. All right, you guys can tell me which one's your favorite. It might be hard, okay? Might be hard. Yes, showcases tomorrow, you guys. I'm in the process of preparing an email to let everybody know that. I have not been a slacker. I just haven't been in my computer very much. I did create a Facebook event. I created a YouTube event, and I have an event on my website. So it's out there in 3 different places for those people that want to look for the event somewhere. I'm also going to email about it, and hopefully I can beat Tyler. Like, I can get it done before Tyler. I don't want to beat Tyler, okay? What I meant to say is hopefully I can beat Tyler to the punch and get it done before he gets back from work. So, let's grab the cards. Tigger, hi buddy. Hi big boy. Oh man, I don't know. I don't have one card down here. I have it upstairs. So you guys said the bouquet, gorgeous cards, too hard, love them all. I like the hello card. Okay, good. That's the bouquet. Perfect. Okay, so you guys, this is just a sneak peek. I'm going to show them kind of quick because I want to do a drawing yet. There's only one card that's missing, and it's a beach card from the notes and the totes. But let's start with what Diane and I got done first. On Saturday, we did the Extraordinary Flora, and you got all those flower washi pieces they're all cut. Thank you to Anna Rebedu. She die cut all of them. So everybody has all of those pieces in each one of their kits. And my mom and Annette and Sharon and Diane, we kitted these up today, you guys. So these are already kitted. They are very, very cool. If you haven't used that washi tape yet, I'm going to show you how to use it. So that one's the Let's Just Stamp. And then we got done the ink, paper, scissors featuring celebratory sips. So this one actually is a little bit different because it actually goes like that. So you can see that. And so you're going to get so this is ink, paper, scissors for next month. It's all your drinky drinks, your refreshing lemonades and little spritzers on here. And then all of our celebratory sips. And then that one's super cool. If you guys love my Team Purple, you'll love that one. Okay, so that one is ink, paper, scissors. I only have 2 of the monthly cards down here. The notes and totes is upstairs. But this is what I've got for you guys on these. And again, they're in plastic, so it's really hard to see them. Tomorrow, I won't have them in plastic, and you guys are going to be able to see them more up close and personal. And this is Scenic Adventures, you guys. This was finished at 2:40 this morning. Oh, man, okay. So, and I tried to make them all in a way where you really don't need anything but sentiments. Okay, so there's one. And this says, cheers to another adventure. But again, you could put thinking of you, happy birthday. And then this one's, Tyler was Google Gaga over that one. Taylor. Yep, so our tent card. And then I did a little bit easier button with this one and didn't do all the die cuts because the die cutters really picked this stuff up today. And they were kitting these on Monday, right? So I couldn't do all the crazy on all the cards. So this one was a little bit less crazy, but really pretty. And then, yeah. So and then Rose I'll show off Rose's tomorrow. She has them in a Facebook message, and I'll be able to show them to you tomorrow. So there are basically the 5 core classes in June, plus Stampin' Fun in the Sun and ink, paper, scissors. And then I know like Julie has class, Carissa has class, and Gina does class. So there's lots of stuff going on in June. There's also a bingo in June. So so lots going on. So hopefully you guys like the little sneaky peek. I'm gonna grab my book so that we can do a drawing. Again, the focus for me now that everything's kind of staged and set for June, it's only May 29th. Everything's staged and set. Now the communications, you guys probably feel like I'm ignoring you with the emails and all that, but please know that I'm not intentionally doing it. I'm going to get to that stuff very, very soon now. I would have to say by Tuesday, I want all that communications, everything kind of buttoned up. If you've like let's say you watch the showcase tomorrow and you email about that we'll work on throughout the Stampin' Fun in the Sun to make sure that we're ready. Our shipping day for June is the 10th. So we're really trying to focus to make sure we're set up and staged for that. So I am just able to get into embossing and cutting, and I need to relearn how to stamp after all that's happened. Yes, that's all it comes down to is relearning. They're all beautiful. Oh my goodness, they are beating. Oh, are you talking about the cats? They were going after each other, weren't they? I don't know if that's perfect mend cards. Good. All right. So I have here for the through, there were 68 people. Let me grab my cell phone here. Oh, good. I'm glad you like them, Debbie. Now, yes, you guys, you can hold off, and once it comes time for the showcase tomorrow, you can collectively send the email to Carissa, and you're going to want to make sure that we want to get your whole list concise. So if you're signed up for Stampin' Fund the Sun and you've paid for it already, you can put Stampin' Fund the Sun, paid. If you have Paper Palooza and you are getting it in June, but not July, August, or September, if you're getting it in June, you could put that in there, and like if you've paid for it already, great. Because if you haven't paid for some of the things yet, we want to make sure you get buttoned up and get paid for them. All right, I'm at 68 in here, and we're going to hit generate. Number 45 is the last one over here, Becky Gandolfo. Awesome. I'm going to do a second one. So Becky, your box hasn't been mailed. Oh, 43, look at that. 43 is Sherry Everett. Awesome. So Barbara Gabi, you were right in the middle. You were 44, but I've got Sherry Everett and Becky Gandolfo with the prizes. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Very good. So I told Tyler class would be done at 8:30. So I'll work on my email that I've got half of it drafted for you guys. I'm gonna hit the send button on it anytime tonight. Sherry Everett, if you're still watching, you're more than welcome to give me a call. And if you're not, we can easily chat tomorrow. Probably like around noon my time would probably be a good time to chat. Chikari said they're going to break the bank. Good. I don't mean not good that it's going to break the bank, but that means that you like them. So that's all that matters, is that you guys like the cards. There's variety to choose from. Okay. Good. I don't know if there's anything else at the moment. We're going to be back live with you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. If you're looking, I did update the class schedule. It's out there currently with a date of May 28th. So if you would like to print a new version, let's say you haven't printed one lately, you can go find it on my website under the resources section of my website. So if you guys have printers at home, you can go up here to resources. I did just update the schedule, and there is a date on the bottom now of May 28th. It includes what Rose is doing. It includes the stuff that I'm featuring for different classes. So this is new. So if anybody, I'm going to have one of these printed and in front of me, the new version of it, so that we're going to work off of the new one. So, but you guys can always grab that too and print that, or work off of it, off of your tablet or your phone or your computer. So, all right. You're welcome, Randy Schultz. You guys have a good night as well. And lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. We'll see you tomorrow at 2. Bye.